Hi, my name is Jenny.
And my name's Eury.
It's 2022, that is the year of feeling at home. And it's the year of the bunny rabbit, at least for us here on the Conscious Cuppa podcast.
Hello Brew Crew, and welcome back. It's season 3. In season 1, we use lollipop sticks to ask big life questions, and in season 2, we got on board with Noah and crossed the sea with Moses to answer life's conundrums. And now, in season 3, we've got a question for you. What has walking to the park, taking a trip to the beach, and flying to the moon have to do with bunny rabbits?
Our furry friends. They're here to help us discover how this universe supports us from A to Z. From having the thought to having the thing. From wanting it to being it. From desire to fulfillment. And yes, you heard it correctly. We are using bunny rabbits to help us out.
How so, we hear you ask? Over the course of 13 episodes, we'll be discovering the mind-blowing roadmap that works 24/7. So, whether you need the bill paid, the injury healed, the wonderful job, or the intimate relationship.
Whether you want to reconnect with a friend, your inner child, your deepest hope, your highest ideal, or perhaps you just want to knock a few pounds off your waistline, the Bunny Rabbit Solution has a tip for you.
We've still got the lift of life for a few magic minutes, we've got the lollipop sticks, African Easter eggs, and loads of Neville Goddard input to encourage you.
We really love hearing from you. So please send us your beautiful mugshots, your answers, your questions and suggestions on Twitter at Conscious Cuppa. And you can email us, consciouscuppa@gmail.com.
That's CONSCIOUSCUPPA. And Brew Crew, stay tuned to the end of the show for your Akan Easter egg. Get yourself some Ghanaian wisdom.
So, grab a brew, take a pew, and let's make the impossible come true.
Cheers. So what's in your cup today, Jen?
Something very fruity, something very red.
Nice.
I'm going to read the ingredients.
Okay.
We have black elder, blueberry, chocoberry, never heard of that, apple, hawthorn, hibiscus, yum yum, rosehip, yum yum, and rowan berry, and aroma.
And it really does have an amazing aroma. It's very fruity, and it's actually called forest, so that's the translation from Polish, which is the shop that I bought it from in Shepherd's Bush, and it's called Maleka or something near to that, and it translates to milk in English.
That's the supermarket.
Yeah.
On Uxbridge Road.
Yeah, the
Shepherd's
deli.
Bush.
Yeah.
And how do you pronounce this one again?
Lesznie. Probably
Forest.
not, but,
okay, yeah,
you know, my Polish is very raw. Forgive me.
We hope you've got something wonderful in your cup, your glass, your flask.
Cheers. So here's what we do. This season we want to share what we've discovered about the roadmap of life, the one that works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you're rich or poor, good or bad, happy or sad, and whether you know it's working or not.
Each episode we'll tread a seemingly impossible road, out of a black hole, beyond the walled zones of comfort. We'll open and close the jaws of death, enter the window of wonders, jump the fence into the safest haven, nail down the plan of plans, and take home the Holy Grail.
Yes! The roadmap is a pattern, an unfolding spiral that you have seen in nature, probably without even realising it. It's in the beauty of the ocean wave, the majesty of the cosmos, and it's reflected in us, in every human being, shaping and defining our physical bodies.
This universal spiral has been called Fibonacci sequence, which sounds a bit complicated, a bit mathematical, and it is, a bit, but give us 5 minutes. Give us 5 minutes to make it easy for you to discover this path that nature herself builds with you.
We've added visuals this season to help make sense of some of these ideas, so head over to our YouTube channel if you're not already there, and we've got some links in the description to help introduce you to the beautiful spiral.
Let's put 5 minutes on the clock and jump into this wonderful pattern that's going to transform your understanding of the law of attraction and how imagining creates reality. Remember to click on the links in the description if you'd like detailed videos about the bunny rabbits and Fibonacci himself. But let's just say very briefly, whilst travelling in Africa, Fibonacci learned about a new simple calculated system that did away with Roman numerals. And secondly, he discovered one of nature's patterns which predicts growth from start to finish. Guess what he used? That's right, bunny rabbits.
Woohoo! Let's begin with a circle and a line, something that goes round and round with no beginning and no end, and another thing that begins at one point and ends at another. Then we combine those two directions to make a spiral. And let's divide the spiral into 7 parts, 7 steps along the path. The first step we'll call 0, 1, the circle and the line.
Then we use a simple addition to create the next 6 steps. So starting with 0 plus 1 equals 1. Then just add the last 2 numbers together. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Then 2 plus 1 equals 3. Then 3 plus 2 equals 5. 5 plus 3 equals 8. And 8 plus 5 equals 13. In the law of attraction, we only need to go up to 13, but these numbers can go on forever, to infinity
and beyond. We take these 7 numbers and the hidden ones in the gaps, look at their original meanings and let them tell us an unfolding story. Each number symbolises a chapter of the story, and each chapter lets you know where you are along the unwinding path and what to do next to proceed. It's similar to a video game that advances in levels and to the hero's journey we all know through popular stories like Harry Potter and the lesser-known stories such as the Congo's hero Mawindu.
The story begins whenever an idea comes to you. Maybe you have a need, a wish, a dream. Now it comes like a gift into your heart and mind, and you're invited to entertain it, or not. If you decide to act on the idea, to accept it as a gift, how will you accommodate it? Can you fit it in your life, in your world, with all the rules and beliefs and guidelines you already have? An idea may present challenges, encouraging you to expand your borders.
On this podcast, we are looking at those challenging ideas, dreams and needs that may seem impossible to achieve. We're especially interested in how to accomplish goals on the journey into the forbidden and unconscious realms of possibility. Once inside the forbidden forest, the invisible works begin as you create a new reality in a totally different time and space. And then, wait. We mean really wait until, pop, out of the blue, you encounter your dream come true. The thought has become a thing, the idea has produced an event, perhaps a great job, a wonderful new home, improved health and wealth, even a special loved one.
Now, finally, take a look around you, just around you where you are. Can you see any object that wasn't once only imagined? Think of an invention or event that was once thought impossible and realize it all began as an idea in someone's imagination. The wheel, the phone, the internet all began as ideas. They all followed the path of growth from thought to thing, and your ideas are no exception. So pick one and let's get in the lift of life. It's time for Magic Minute, and this is the time it takes us to go up 13 floors this season to discover what we can say about this week's theme. This week's theme is the roadmap, this wonderful spiral. So we'll put a minute on the clock and we're going to look up the official meaning of roadmap, and then we're going to talk down on the way down what we understand the road map to be about. Okay, so the doors are closing now. So the official, well, one of the official definitions, the Oxford language, is a map, especially one designed for motorists, showing the roads of a country or area, and 2, a plan or strategy intended to achieve a particular goal. So the example it gives here is a roadmap for peace in the region. It has a Hebrew translation, but actually it's got loads of different translations on your one. That's pretty cool. But we're going to just stick with the ordinary noun. So we've got 2 basic definitions going on there. So that was a plan or strategy intended to achieve a particular goal, or a map, especially one designed for motorists, showing the roads of a country or area. So we're going to go back up. We're just going to brainstorm the road map in terms of a spiritual understanding. Okay. And the doors are closing now. So in terms of spiritual, we would say, well, it's that spiral. So let's write down spiral. What else have we got?
So it's a Fibonacci sequence.
It's a Fibonacci sequence. It's a universal method.
Yes.
What else have we got? It's showing
it's
us the way, isn't it? It's like a way to go. It's a pattern.
I think it's a life journey, a spiritual journey.
So a journey.
Yeah.
And what did I say? Pattern.
Yeah.
It's a pattern. We've got 15 seconds.
So the roadmap is a series of events.
Okay. It's brainstorming, so you kind of have to write it down. A to Z. That's what it makes me think of. Like a London A to Z.
Oh, yeah. A to Z. I like it.
Okay. So we've got about 10 different points on that brainstorm map, which we're going to put up on the visuals. And one of them is the map for a motorist. And that would seem like it wouldn't be anything to do with a spiritual definition. But when you get to the episode, when we talk about number 2 on the steps, you're going to see how each of us is a kind of like a vehicle. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like that. Right now, what we're going to do is elaborate by using 10 minutes. We had 10 minutes in season 2 where we would go into a better understanding. And we're going to use 10 minutes again on the clock to elaborate on this overview. Because this particular episode is more just the overview of this spiral, this roadmap, this way of this Fibonacci sequence. I'm trying to avoid that word just because I don't want to put people off. But this way to go to get from the thought of something that you want to having the thing that you wanted.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we're going to put 10 minutes on the clock. And I know it might get a bit overwhelming for us as well. So we're going to have a tea break in the middle. So get your flask ready and your glass ready and your cups and your mugs. 5 minutes in, roughly, we'll have a little tea break, put something up on the screen, talk about, do a Neville quote, a Neville nugget. Yeah?
Lovely.
And then we'll see how far we've got and carry on.
Lovely.
Let's start the clock.
Okay.
And in the beginning, what was the question you asked everybody?
What has walking to the park, taking a trip to the beach, and flying to the moon got to do with bunny rabbits?
So let's use the example of going for a trip to the beach.
Okay.
There's an idea. Let's say there's a girl and she's got an idea. And the idea is this, the thing that pops into your head.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to the beach. That's number 01. That's that step, 01. But it's just an idea. It's not an actual trip.
Yeah.
But the idea is there. When we take it to number 1, that section, that step is all about entertaining the idea.
So you like the idea of going to the beach?
I really like the idea. But you know, at 01, it comes in, on, off, in, out. The idea is awake. You can make it asleep again. You can throw it out and say, I don't like this idea. Or what's a stupid idea?
Or I'm too busy.
I'm too busy. You already do not like this idea. And sometimes I do like ideas pop into my head and I think, where did that come from? So 01 is the idea arriving, and you can say yes or no. But if you like the idea of this trip to the beach, this girl likes the idea, let's say.
Yeah.
She's going to entertain that idea. And entertaining it is feeding the idea.
Yeah.
When you entertain guests, you're this host that says, come in, sit down, hospitality.
Nourishment.
So the first step is 01, the idea arrives. And the second step would be...
you entertain it.
Yeah, come in, sit down. I like you. Let's chat a bit.
Yeah. So then I guess you start mulling it over in your mind, what that might feel like, what that might look like. You kind of begin to remember all those times you've been to the beach, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the exciting conversations you've had about going to the beach if you've never been. Yeah.
So what's next? 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
So 2 is actually the third step.
Okay.
Keep up with us here. So number 2 is the house.
Right.
There's 2 of something in every language.
Yeah.
And the language we're going to be looking at is the Hebraic language.
Yeah.
The old Bible language.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's some debates about what is the original Bible language. Is it Aramaic? But we're going to use the Hebraic language. Yeah. And number 2 is the house.
Right.
And the idea here is accommodation.
Yes.
Can you accommodate this idea? I mean, we're talking about going to the beach, but we also asked you to think about your own idea that you want to entertain.
Yeah.
And you've been entertaining, and maybe you've got to the house now and it's hard to accommodate it. What's the kind of limitations that your house may have? It might be too small.
Well, also, you might it might be the beliefs in your house. Maybe this girl her family's never been to the beach. So it's not a thing that we usually do.
Yes.
So it's outside of what your norm, your comfort zone, your
walls.
Yes.
And so this idea may now seem to be, well, this seems like something that I can't do.
Yes. And at that point, again, you can throw it out. You can say, oh, this is too hard.
There's nowhere to house this idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So what have we got next? We've got 2 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
So our third step is our fourth step.
Oh, yeah. Number 3 is our fourth step. Yeah.
So now we've got the camel.
Yes.
Gimel, the camel. This is basically a means of transport. We're going on a journey.
Woohoo! How are we going to get to the beach?
So the journey isn't so much a physical at this point because we're still in the realm of ideas.
Okay.
It's now we're going on this journey, on this trip. We're going to go into our imagination.
Right.
Yeah? So we're going to go into our imagination and we're going to find the scene where the beach is happening, where I'm at the beach.
So this girl might be just like sitting on her bed, imagining herself paddling. Well, that's what I would be doing.
She's daydreaming. And there's a holy grail question here.
Okay.
And it's the big question. What would it be like if I was now doing the thing, being the person, having the item that I would want? That I wanted, in fact. Stop the podcast. It's time for a Neville Nugget. Neville Goddard. He's taught us quite a bit, hasn't he?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I hope you've been looking him up. He's worth a butcher's hook. Pick a number from 1 to 17.
6.
6. Neville Goddard says, a change of feeling is a change of destiny. That's simple and sweet, isn't it?
Yep.
We hope you're having a nice little tea break.
Yeah.
Because that was a lot. That was a lot. And on with the podcast.
On with the podcast.
What would it be like if I now had the thing that I wanted? She wants to go to the beach. This is the journey into the imagination. And then we have a little bit of a gap. There's no number 4 right now.
So hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Before you go on to the gap and the fact there's no number 4,
yeah.
I just want to say I am now, in my imagination, that little girl, and I am the little girl who is dabbling my toes into the water.
Well, this is number 5.
Okay.
Because the 5 is it's the window, and it's the window of opportunity. So like you're going through a window into that dream.
Wow.
So the window, which is hey or he, this is you going into your dream as a character, the main character. You're no longer thinking of the beach, you're thinking from the beach.
So this is where I'm not just a little girl that can be at the beach. I'm actually a little girl at the beach.
And I'm daydreaming that I'm at the beach.
Yeah.
This is very important. You're no longer thinking of the beach and being over there. You're thinking from the beach being here and your home being over there.
Yeah.
You're bringing there to here and then to now.
Yeah.
Very important. So at number 5, this is all about engaging with the item. This is about touch. This is you saying, the sand, what does that feel like in my fingers? The taste of the ice cream, what does that like on my tongue? So you're engaging your senses. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you feeling?
So you're hearing the waves, you're feeling the sun on your back. Oh.
The sound of people playing, the sound of the seagulls, the splashing of the water. And what was you saying about your toes?
Yeah, I can feel my toes in the water and the water lapping, and it's a little bit chilly. But yeah, and I can feel the sand under my feet. Yeah. So
we started at 0, 1. We didn't say what 1 is. What is 1?
Oh, number 1's the ox.
The ox. What has that got to do with anything? Oxen were used for ploughing.
So this is making ready fertile soil, is it not?
To drop a seed in.
Lovely.
You're dropping a seed. The seed is the idea. The idea comes, you entertain it, you try to find space for it in your world, and maybe your world says, oh, no space at the end for your idea. Okay, well, let me go on a little trip and find space for it, because I know it's possible.
Yes.
It's a gift.
Yes.
And if the gift is a gift, you got to receive it. So we're going on the journey at number 3, and in number 5, we're going into the dream itself.
Yeah.
And acting from the dream.
Yeah.
What's next? 5 plus 3?
8.
8 is het. Het is a fence in the Hebraic language. And the fence implies protection. When we go into each episode, we're going to go into much more detail with each one. But this is the overview. Basically, you've been carried away. In other words, she's on her bed and she's believing that she's at the beach, and she's completely forgotten that she's actually on her bed at home. This is you getting carried away. This is the equivalent of Zeus carrying away a female to marry them. This is about marriage. You are so married, you've now become one with the scene. Number 8 is about the two becoming one. This is about marriage. And the fence implies you are in a new territory. You're in a new state of mind.
So everybody's had this moment.
Yeah, getting carried away.
Where somebody's saying their name. So in my case, it was my mum going, Eury, Eury, Eury. And I'm so in daydream world. Yeah. I'm so switched off. I'm no longer in my bedroom. I can't hear anything. It used to get real mad.
So we've got one more, and that's number 13. 8 plus 5 equals 13. And 13 is echad. And echad means one. But it's one made up of many. So it's like a rope. Think of strands being bound together. It's things coming together as one. And the one is when the dream comes true on the physical level.
Wow.
So let's imagine, yes, she got called back by her mum. And she's like, oh, I'm here. I'm actually in my room. And this is where the positron comes in. You know, that wrong way electron that we talked about in season 2. It's coming back here. We're going to be talking about that. But all we need to know right now is just by her being at the beach in her imagination with such a feeling of reality, the universe is now going to reshape itself to bring her to that beach at number 13, where she becomes one with her dream. So she gets it in her imagination and she gets it in it. She doubles it. She gets it in the physical as well. So she gets to enjoy it twice.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that's the overview. And hopefully you're following on the YouTube channel the graphics that's going to help us to understand all of this. Oh, wow. And thanks to Roger.
Oh, wow. He's doing some really amazing animation.
With the graphics. Yeah. He's got a Tumblr link.
Fantastic.
We can put that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So next week we want to start with 01.
Yes. So this is where the idea comes in.
Yes. And we've all got an idea that we really want to come true. So really bring that into episode 2 when you join us next time. What is your idea? Basically, ideas are gifts. It already knows that you want this. It feels a lack within you. It's a bit like a barometer going down. It's kind of, this is your gift to bring it back up, to bring you to some place of beauty, ease, and delight.
Bed.
That bed feeling. We're going to go out with another magic minute. We're going to get back in that lift of life.
Lovely.
We're going to do some practice each week.
Yep.
The practice of touch.
Oh.
It's the most important bit when you're doing your imagining.
It really is.
The girl on the beach, all those senses, her spiritual senses, not your physical senses, her spiritual senses, they need practice.
Yeah.
So what are we going to practice? Should we do the ball experiment?
Yes, let's do the ball experiment.
Yeah, let's start with something that maybe you know already, but if you don't, join in. And the doors are closing now.
All you've got to do is sit, close your eyes, and think of a ball. It can be any ball. And some kind of ball is going to pop into your imagination.
The next step is to hold the ball with your hand. We're talking about touch here. So in your imagination's hands, not your physical hand, hold that ball. Maybe you need 2 hands. But what's the texture of the ball? Turn it around in your hand or hands. What's the texture? Use your spiritual eyes to see the colour. What happens when you tap that ball? What kind of sound does it produce? Do this all in your imagination. Get carried away with turning this ball over and exploring that ball. And then, once you feel that you know this ball, open your eyes. So what's going to happen next?
So next, guess what? You're actually going to find this in the objective world, this world, on this level. So you're going to be so surprised. One day you're going to find this ball and you're going to be like, wow, please let us know. It's so much fun. Take a picture and it's going to feel exactly the same as it did in your imagination.
The ball coming into imagination was the 01. You finding it out in the physical world is number 13.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Send us your pictures and let us know that you found your ball.
You can do that on Twitter
at Conscious Cuppa and on Gmail, consciouscuppa@gmail.com.
That's CONSCIOUSCUPPA. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you, Brew Crew, for waiting till the very end of the podcast. Here's your Akan saying for this week. Wow,
these are huge lollipop sticks.
Yeah, they really are.
Huge.
So this is really short and sweet as well.
Uh-huh.
No condition is permanent.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.